What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video. And today we have breaking news. Let me know if you can hear me in the comments. I just went live. I forgot to double check my equipment. So let me know if you can hear me in the comments below. What's up, Mike? How are you? We're going to jump right into this story here in just a minute. Can you guys hear me? Yes or no in the comments? We can. All right. So, breaking news. This is from Variety. James Gunn fired from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is awesome. So fuck you. I don't want to sign up for your newsletter. So let's move this over here. Let's turn this. I'm going to try to I should have set OBS up, but here we go right here. So this is from Variety.com. James Gunn has been fired as the director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 after a series of offensive tweets were unearthed that made light of pedophilia and rape. Disney, the studio behind the comic book franchise, made the announcement in the midst of Comic-Con. The offensive attitude and statements discovered on James' Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have severed our business relationship with him, said Alan Horn, the studio's chairman. Now, am I all for anyone losing their job? Not necessarily. No. That's not what I'm all about. What I'm about is people being treated fairly. People being treated fairly. And James Gunn does this moral superiority bullshit every day on Twitter, just like all of these Hollywood people. They act like they're better than everyone else. They act like they don't have flaws. They act like they have no skeletons in the closet. And I always say this. We are all shitty people deep down. We just are. Nobody is truly a good person. We are all selfish. We're all hypocrites at some point in time. We all have dirty skeletons in our closet. And anybody who acts like that is not the case, they are full of shit, and they are typically the worst. They typically have horrible things that they want to hide. So they always get on social media and virtue signal because they really have something to hide. They have really bad stuff to hide. You cannot make jokes about pedophilia. You cannot normalize that. As someone that does not get offended by much, that is way over the line. Way over the line. Complete nonsense. All right, so again, for those that are just joining us, this is from Variety. James Gunn has been fired as the director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. James Gunn has been fired as the director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 after a series of offensive tweets that were unearthed that made light of pedophilia and rape. Disney, the studio behind the comic book franchise, made the announcement in the midst of Comic-Con. The offensive attitudes and statements discovered on James' Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have severed our business relationship with him, said Alan Horn, the studio's chairman. Beautiful. Now, again, I don't take so much pride in someone losing their job and their livelihood, but I do love when these moral superiority hypocrites get busted. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. I'm going to leave this up on the screen so everyone can see it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. This guy preaches like he's better than everybody. He said Star Wars fans need therapy, all this stuff. And again, that's fine, man. Say what you want. I've been critical of Star Wars fans in the past. When the whole George Lucas thing was happening, I've been very critical in the past. But now we're in a new age. We're in a new era. And you can't sit there and say Star Wars fans need therapy while you have pedophile jokes. And he had, what, 10,000 tweets that people were uncovering that he deleted. And then he claimed, oh, it was just a joke. It was just a joke. Yeah, you were calling people, calling Ben Shapiro an asshole yesterday and saying even his own mother should unfollow him. And you constantly, he went on a Trump tirade just a day or two ago, claiming how great he is. And now you see what happens. Stop throwing stones. We all live in glass houses. Stop throwing stones. Stop. Such nonsense. So I'm pretty sure what we're going to have now is we're going to have a Kevin Spacey moment where I choose to live my life as a gay man. That's exactly what we're going to have. I choose to live my life as a gay man, so he can try to take the heat off of him, and he can work into the social circle that he thinks is going to keep the heat off of him. The Texas German said, what did he get fired for? He got fired for about, I don't even know how many, years and years and years of jokes that I don't necessarily think are jokes. I think they are downright dangerous tweets where he was literally making comments that he would be molesting boys, young boys. He made multiple comments about pedophilia, justifying it, making light of it, telling other people to tell their son, I raped I think it was it R2D2? I can't remember. One of them. And it's just, it's rough. It's really, really bad. So I love when people get exposed. That's my thing. I love when people get exposed. Let me see if I can move the super chats over here. Vernon Parker Jr., he played a stupid game. He won a stupid prize. 100%. Comrade Commodore, the things Twitter allows and disallows is so weird. You hear people get banned over nothing, and then there's stuff like this going on. Odd. 100%. 100%. Yeah, he's really fired though. So again, we gotta call it like it is. Big ups to Disney for responding immediately and handling this. Like, they responded quickly, because this really only broke like yesterday. And during Comic-Con, where James Gunn is making an appearance, boom, they handled it, man. They kicked his ass out. They took his ass and kicked his name. He gone, says Mattuine. So again, if you're just joining us, we have 591 people here in the chat. Thank you so much for viewing. I'll update you really quick. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Lick that like button, smash that like button, like that smash button. Here we go. James Gunn, this is from Variety. James Gunn fired from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. James Gunn has been fired as the director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 after a series of offensive tweets were unearthed that made light of pedophilia and rape. Disney, the studio behind the comic book franchise, made the announcement in the midst of Comic-Con. The offensive attitude and statements discovered on James' Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have severed our business relationship with him, said Alan Horn, the studio's chairman. Now, full disclosure, I love Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Love these movies. I have said that they are like this generation Star Wars. They are what Star Wars should be. That doesn't take away from anything that that's happened, but you don't get to make jokes about being a child rapist and still keep your job. That's just not, that's horrible. That's horrible. Let's see. GRRINC. I don't care if it's a joke or not, as long as the loony leftist nut job is getting they're getting BTFO on their own platform, Twitter, then it's all good. And then another point I want to make really quick. Jon Schnepp, you know, we heard that Jon Schnepp just passed away. I don't know if you're all aware of this, but Jon Schnepp from Collider, the director of The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, just passed away like about 30 minutes ago, and it sucks. And like I said on Twitter, I think we should all put aside our differences in fandom and come together and support the Collider video team, regardless what you think of their opinions and their stances on things. You know, that's a friend of theirs. I met Jon Schnepp at Pensacon just a few years ago. I had my daughter with me. He was super nice to my daughter. I still have my autographed copy of The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened from him. I did not open it. And it sucks. And so just as far as I'm concerned, I think we should just put our differences aside and, you know, support the Collider team and Jon Schnepp's family and send our well wishes. It's bigger than what's going on in the fandom right now. And it's really sad, really sad. And so, you know, all of our best wishes go out to the Schnepp family, the Collider crew, and all of that. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Force Sabers UK, when Kathleen Kennedy gets sacked, any solid confirmation yet? Not yet. There's a lot of good speculation, but no, there's no solid confirmation, just a lot of speculation. Ted Story, more of the pizza eaters will be exposed soon. Shame it takes pissing off Star Wars fans to get it done. Star Wars fans and Ben Shapiro, and MAGA people. Thomas Gilkey, thank you for super chat. Hey man, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Just reporting on all of this stuff going on. Matouine, let's be honest. Surely Disney knew about his tweets. Everyone's such Smeed under the scrutiny these days. They just couldn't ignore it any longer. That's possible. I don't know though. I mean, again, I don't know. Disney could have known about these tweets. I don't know that. There's no way to know that really. But this is what happens. Like just yesterday, and I did a video on this. So I can't remember the guy's name, Mark Duplass, I think, actor on Legend. He simply said, hey, to any fellow liberals, if you're looking for a different perspective, politically, you should follow Ben Shapiro. He didn't tell him he endorses Ben Shapiro. He didn't say you should listen to every word he says. He just said, if you're looking for a different perspective, you should check this guy out. They went off on him. The attack machine went off on him. They made him change all of his wording. They made him retract everything he said. They made him delete his tweet. They made him clarify that he is against racism and sexism and all this stuff. James Gunn got involved. James Gunn was basically like, oh, Ben Shapiro. He defended the guy. I'll be fair to James Gunn in that aspect, but he also went out of his way to say, oh, Ben Shapiro's an asshole. And even his own mother should unfollow him. What? But bro, you're the one that is saying that it's okay to make pedophile jokes. What the hell is wrong with these people? They need to continue being exposed. And the more they talk, the more they will be exposed. And it's beautiful. And I love the fact that so many of them act like Trump is so bad because of the things he said on the, whatever that was, the Entertainment Weekly or Entertainment Tonight bus or whatever the fuck it was. I say worse stuff walking around Walmart with my friends about women because that's what guys do. That's locker room talk. Any man who has ever hung out with other men knows that's not offensive. The fuck is wrong with you people? Such bullshit, man. Too many moral superiority pussies out here. Too many. Don't be a pussy. Just like Clay Travis says, DBAP. Hashtag DBAP. Stop being like that. Stop acting like you're better than everyone else. You're not. You're just as shitty as we are, just in a different way. Every single person watching this video, you got shit that you do and say and think that you don't want nobody to know about because we're all humans. We're all fucked up. And all these Hollywood people continue to sit there and act like they're so great. And we know, normal people that live in the real world, we know you're not great. You're not a great person. You might do good things, and that's awesome. We support charity at Geeks and Gamers. Does that mean I don't watch porn and objectify women when I'm walking around fucking Walmart? No, I'm still a shitty person. I just like to help people. That doesn't make up for anything. All right, move. All right, had to. All right, I had to preach for a minute because I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm sick of it, and the gloves are off. The gloves are off. I'm going to start talking about all of this shit because it all ties into entertainment, whether you want to understand that or not. All of this stuff ties back into the Hollywood entertainment. All of this stuff ties into where video games are going through the SJW bullshit, movies, comics, all of it. It's even bleeding into the NFL and our sporting events, and it all has to be exposed. So the next time somebody says, oh, this isn't geek coverage, yes, it is. If either you understand that or you don't, because this type of behavior, this type of mentality is destroying a geek culture, all of it, all of this. And we have to continue to expose it. Everything is politicized now. You don't have to like that. I don't like it, but it's the reality of the situation we're in right now. And Trump has pissed these people off and he has driven them insane because Ben Shapiro said this a while back when Oprah was talking about getting involved with politics. And I thought this was the best. This is the best example of it I've heard. When Oprah was talking about getting involved, running in 2020 versus Trump, Ben Shapiro said, Oprah is standing there with this pristine white dress on, and she's perfect, and she's beautiful, and she's perfect, and there's not a speck of dust on her. But the moment you enter politics, all it takes is for one person to throw a little bit of mud your way. And if you're wearing that pretty white dress, that little bit of mud is going to start standing out. And then you get a little more mud on you and a little more mud. And all of a sudden, that beautiful white dress looks really bad. He's like, Trump is built of mud. Trump is built of mud. So every time you say Trump nailed a porn star, we're like, all right, bro. I mean, he's a billionaire and he's always with hot chicks. My first memory of Donald Trump was, I believe it was WrestleMania 5. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man. I think that was one of his hotels in like Atlantic City or something like that. It was one of the earlier WrestleManias. I saw Trump walk in and I was like, he had like these blonde chicks with him. And I'm like, bro, this cat is the man. Like, he's just walking in there like a pimp. He's got hot chicks with him. He owns the building. He's smug. Like, that was my first memory of Trump. So now Trump, 30 years later, and you're trying to say, oh, he slept with a porn star. Yeah, we know. That's awesome. You know what I mean? So anyway, all right, let me get back on point here. So almost 1,000 of you watching. Thank you for joining. Hit that like button. Director James Gunn has been fired from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is from Variety. And here's the statement from Alan Horn. First, I'll read you what Variety said. James Gunn has been fired as the director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 after a series of offensive tweets were unearthed that made light of pedophilia and rape. Disney, the studio behind the comic book franchise, made the announcement in the midst of Comic-Con, which shows the severity of this situation. The fact that they did this during Comic-Con is bad. Like, this is bad. And then this is a statement from Alan Horn. Alan Horn said the offensive attitude and statements discovered on James' Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have severed our business relationship with him, said Alan Horn, the studio's chairman. Now, and give me a minute, guys. I'll catch up on the super chats. I appreciate you guys sending them, and I will catch up on them. We have to give credit where credit is due. Disney, you know, I said this in the video where we talked about the Clone Wars announcement. We can be excited about the Clone Wars, but that does not erase all of the nonsense going on with Disney, and we still have to hold them accountable. And we do, and we will. This is a strong announcement right here. This sends a strong signal right here. Like, Disney responded quickly. And during Comic-Con, James Gunn is one of their top guys. Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe outside of the Avengers, is their top franchise. And James Gunn is literally the reason that franchise is a success. He did a fantastic job. Like, he's an A+ player within the MCU. And for Disney to respond this quickly and this swiftly and this publicly during Comic-Con, this is a big move. This is a big move. And I got to think Roundhead Ryan is probably shaking in his boots right now. I got to think he is. And we got to keep the pressure on. These fuckers cannot get away with this stuff. And we have to hold them accountable. We have to continue to hold them accountable. This is huge right here. This is huge. I hate Disney a little less right now. Okay. Wow, guys. All right. Give me a minute. All right, Big Chap says he could share an Uber with Kathleen Kennedy after clearing his desk. My eyes are up here. Says, shit, I met Schnepp at WonderCon. He was cool. Yes, if you're not aware, Jon Schnepp of Collider and the director of The Death of Superman Lives What Happened just passed away. He had a massive stroke about a week ago. And it was just announced by his significant other that he passed away. They believe he was on life support. And they made the terrible decision that I guess they decided to pull the life support because it wasn't looking good. And it's awful. And I met Jon Schnepp at Pensacon a few years ago. He was really nice to me, really nice to my daughter. I have a signed copy of The Death of Superman Lives What Happened. And it sucks. And I think we should all rally around the Collider team. I think it's very important as a community that we show that there are things bigger than the differences we have. So, yeah, big shout out to Jon Schnepp, Collider, his family, and anyone that's impacted by this. Martel So says, hello there. What's up, Martel? If I'm saying your name right, you're always super chatting. I must be saying it right because you keep sending super chats, and I appreciate it. Samuel Martin, what the hell is wrong with James Gunn? That's just gross. Absolutely. Billy Ritchie, preach. Pastor Jeremy, the Church of Geeks and Gamers. Thank you. Martel So, funny how Jeremy's mic is perfect silhouette of Ryan Johnson's face. Generations gains. I guarantee you that James Gunn is involved with a child sex ring. I would not. It would not shock me at this point. Comrade Commodore Jeremy, take breath. Had to rant, guys. My bad. Immediately starts up again. Preach it, brother. Justin says, I'm not excited about the Clone Wars as you, but I'm damn excited about that sexy short sleeve hoodie you're rocking. Good on you. This is my NBA hoodie. And so, yeah. So if you're just joining us, we have 1,100 people watching. Thank you for joining. Yeah, it's a lot going on. I'll be honest with you guys. I can't wait for the High Council tonight so we can kind of just, there's so much crap right now with the Ben Shapiro, I think it's Mark Duplass story that I covered earlier. You can watch that here on the channel. This James Gunn nonsense. There's people now trying to push SJW crap into the Clone Wars. Jon Schnepp passing away. I really can't wait for the High Council tonight so we can just set aside all of this nonsense and get back to having a good time. And you guys can have a lot of fun roasting me over the Force Awakens. I'm looking forward to that because, man. So what happened with Ben Shapiro? And if you want to go to earlier today, I uploaded a video on it. But yesterday, I hope I'm saying his name right. I think it's Mark Duplass, actor on Legion. He made a simple statement on Twitter basically saying, hey, to all of my fellow liberals out there, if you're looking for a different perspective across the aisle, you should follow Ben Shapiro. He's a really nice guy, and he had an opportunity to help me out even when he didn't have to. And this created the mob mentality, and they started going after this actor. I mean, they went after him hardcore, and they bullied him into deleting his post and then issuing an apology and then saying that he's not for racism and sexism and all this. And a lot of people were claiming that Ben Shapiro is, quote unquote, a white supremacist who wants to keep women in shackles and wants the poor to starve. These are quotes from people. And so then James Gunn jumped in and said some stuff about Ben Shapiro and said, like, Ben Shapiro's an asshole and even his own mother shouldn't follow him. And now we see, not even a few hours later. So that's what triggered it. It was James Gunn playing the moral superiority bullshit on Ben Shapiro, and he went on a Trump rant. So then the people that were pissed about him going, why are you taking this moral superiority stance, James? So they started digging to his old tweets. And my, oh my, did they open up Pandora's box. It was wild. It was wild. And so, yeah, I know, Cosmic Cam, Ben Shapiro isn't a white supremacist. It's crazy that these people continue to come up with this nonsense. So then James Gunn deleted 10,000 of his tweets. 10,000 tweets within 2 hours after he claimed it was just innocent jokes. 10,000 tweets within 2 hours. Then he eventually, just a few minutes ago, deleted his entire Twitter account. And that's when the announcement came that Disney fired him. So he's gone. He's done. It's over. And it's awesome. Again, I don't necessarily like when people lose their job over things like this, but you cannot joke about pedophilia. You can't do it. He normalized that shit. Like, he literally was saying that he likes to touch little boys. He said it. He said it, and he said it multiple times in multiple ways. He even made comments to other people like, hey, tell your kid that I raped R2-D2. That'll, and he'll understand when he's older. Who says that shit, man? Like, who says that? That is disturbing as fuck. So, Julio says 10,000 tweets. How do you delete that amount of tweets that fast? I'm sure he got his people on that really quickly. So, Makani 90, I thought the SJW far left Twitter media was going to give Gunn a slap on the wrist and let him slide. I guess even SJWs are like, yeah, you guys are right to fire his ass. JS, hey, take the gloves off, bro. Preach it. Hoorah. Thank you. Mega Mr. 46, how much do you want to bet the FBI will arrest James Gunn? I think that they definitely need to take a hard look at James Gunn's Twitter account, and I believe that's why he deleted it. But guess what, James? All that stuff you can't delete that. You can't do it, bro. You can't do it. So, Brad Norris, if you really want to lose the rest of your faith in the country, go read all the people who are defending James Gunn right now. Holy shit. I bet that I can't wait to check this out. I can't wait. Super Cormy, he is the James Gunn, or he is the James who is Gunn. He likes the ones who are young. He made some tweets and was stung. Now his career is all done. The Dallas Deadeye, live by the SJW sword, die by it. 100%. 100%. And so I can't wait to go on social media and read all of the people that are defending James Gunn. This is hilarious that there are actually people out there that could be defending this man. So if you're just joining us, 13 people, 100 watching, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button. Let's go ahead and update you. This is from Variety. And again, we are all critical of Disney's handling of Star Wars, handling of Lucasfilm and their social media and how they're treating the fans and how they let things slide. So now this is a big move, and this is a monumental move, in my opinion. James Gunn just late yesterday afternoon. I found out about it at like 2 o'clock in the morning, but just late afternoon, he got into some stuff, some anti-Trump rhetoric, which is kind of par for the course for him on Twitter because he needs to let you know he's a good guy. He's a good guy, and Trump is a bad, bad man, and he has to tell you all about it. And so he did that. Then he got into this thing with Ben Shapiro, and some actor was defending Ben Shapiro, and he said Ben Shapiro is a horrible person, but, you know, and his own mom shouldn't even follow him. And then the MAGA fans and the Shapiro fans started digging in James Gunn Twitter history, and it was bad. Again, I am not someone that's easily offended. Not at all. It was bad. And I made a video on these tweets on this channel. And even some of this stuff made me uncomfortable to the point where I really didn't even I wasn't even sure I was going to upload the video. There's so much fucked up shit in these tweets. So anyway, Disney responded during Comic-Con against one of their top tier MCU directors. I would argue James Gunn might be their top director outside of the Russos. I would argue that. Would anybody challenge me on that to say James Gunn outside of the Russos are the top tier? He's the top tier director, if I'm not mistaken, in the MCU right now. And so they fired him during Comic-Con. I believe he was scheduled to make an appearance today at Comic-Con. And boom, James Gunn has been fired as the director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 after a series of offensive tweets were unearthed by and made light of pedophilia and rape. Disney, the studio behind the comic book franchise, made the announcement in the midst of Comic-Con. The offensive attitudes and statements discovered on James Gunn's Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have severed our business relationship with him, said Alan Horn, the studio's chairman. Now, I think now we have to look at it from a couple of different ways. We have to look at Disney's history here. Why did Disney react like this? Why did they react so swiftly? Did Disney get information that law enforcement could be looking into James Gunn, and that's why they responded this quickly? Very possible. We don't know. We don't know. But I would say that they definitely need to look into this situation right now. And so I think that there's more to the story. But we have to take them at face value based on what we know. And right now, this is a great move for them. And so, big ups to them. All right, let me see. Shane says, I just have to say I'm super excited for the new Thrawn book. I have pre-ordered all editions of it. Way to go, Timothy Zahn. Gonkings Go 83. Guess someone found the Easter eggs no one could find. It was those tweets to end him. JBD. JG's mate is a convicted pedo. Fact. Jedi Knight and friend of Captain Solo. Big Lee win for us. Ewok dance. Hashtag MAGA. Rabbit Jawa. RIP Jon Schnepp. Such an awesome guy. Sweaties, absolutely. Sean Gilbert should have called Hillary for advice on deleting it. So yes, also in the news also is the horrible news that Jon Schnepp has passed away. Jon Schnepp of Collider suffered a massive stroke about a week ago. He's been on life support. He's been unconscious and on life support. His significant other today said that they announced that they had to make the decision to pull the plug. It's awful. I think that we all should, rally around the Collider team, rally around Jon Schnepp's family. It really sucks. And so just RIP to you, sir. You were definitely a strong geek, and you were a sweaty, and it sucks, man. It really sucks. So, man, it really sucks. Yeah, Schnepp died, everybody. Schnepp passed away just about, they announced it about 45 minutes to an hour ago. Love the thumbnail. Trolling much? What am I trolling about? James Gunn was fired. Was he not? He was fired because he can't stop running his mouth about the president of the United States. And again, if James Gunn was actually talking shit about Barack Obama all these years, and now he had a problem with Trump, all right, cool, man. But guess what? He would have never dared talk bad about Barack Obama. He would have never dared say a bad word about Obama. But with Trump, it's open season on the hate train. Always. James Gunn hacked by the Russians. The thumbnail was appropriate. Yes, it was. It absolutely is. Don't mess with the Trump. So, yeah, man. All right, so don't forget, I don't know, there's 1,400 people watching. Why should I end the stream when we have so many people watching? I can't end the stream. So, let's see. Let's take some questions from all of you guys. There's enough of you in here. So if you guys have some questions, let's see. Magic Bronco says, you talk bad about Obama in Hollywood, your career is over. 100%. And it's a double standard. And this is the point I made. This is the point I made, that it's not about, like, I don't think that I don't care that people talk bad about Trump. You can have your opinion. My problem is the double standard that exists in Hollywood. And if you can't talk bad about Trump, then why do you talk bad about, why, if you can talk bad about Trump, why can't you talk bad about Obama? And, you know, why am I orange? Because I'm going for my Trump look today. Am I orange today? I know I have a suntan. I've been out in the sun a lot, but it's probably my lighting. My lighting is really weird. So, Gabe Rodriguez, are you a Trump supporter? I try to move away from making political statements on this channel. I try to be very down the middle, but I think you all know the answer to that. And if you want to go to my personal channel, you can D-Day Cobra. You'll know exactly my stance on Trump and politics. So, but yeah, I try to avoid making actual political statements. I try to leave it open-ended here under the Geeks and Gamers banner, because I don't think it's right for me to make political statements. Now, do we think Rian Johnson is next? Yes. I think Rian Johnson is shaking in his boots right now. And I hope people are digging through his past tweets too. I'm not sure you're going to find anything James Gunn level. I don't know, man. That's some messed up crap. Like, you have to be a deranged individual right now. Breaking news, Barron Trump, new director of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Nice nail cutters. Where do I have nail cutters? Oh, yeah, look at there. Got my nail cutters right here. Rian Johnson should be next. Rian Johnson should have already been removed, to be honest with you. So, Ruin Johnson will join Gunn on Mars. All right, let me see. I got to catch up here. I got a couple super chats I got to get to. Let's see. Big Boyette says, what if Disney gave Guardians of the Galaxy to Rian Johnson? I don't think they're that dumb, but if they did that, I would be, I'd be a nightmare. It'd be a nightmare. Omega level Rogue Ninja, major credit to Disney for cutting off the infected limb so quickly to save the patient. Very nicely put, Omega. Very nicely put. It did salvage the great Guardians of the Galaxy for us. And it sucks, man. He did do such a great job on these movies. He did such a great job. I love both of those films. But you cannot talk about pedophilia like this and normalize it and get away with it. You just can't do it, man. Justice says, James Gunn fired, all part of Ron Paul's plan. Man. Ooh, Super was an awesome movie. I don't think I've seen Super. Let's see. Stefan Davey says, I completely agree with you. Trump curse strikes again. Don't they understand? Don't they understand? No, they don't. Never mind. They don't. They don't understand because they're in their Hollywood bubble. Their Hollywood bubble where they think everyone believes all of their nonsense because they have such a big Twitter following and they have so many yes men surrounding them. So they're like, oh, yeah, I'm right. And everybody's going to buy into my nonsense. No, they're not. There is still a huge portion of the population outside of LA and Hollywood and outside of New York, in the heart of New York. And no offense to New Yorkers, because I know a lot of New Yorkers see right through this nonsense. But there's so many people that see through this bullshit. And it's this Hollywood bubble, man. Hollywood bubble. Legion Trooper, hashtag bring back Lucas to replace Kathleen Kennedy. That's been asked multiple times. I don't think George will ever come back, and I don't think he should come back simply because he's like in his 70s. He's done it all, and he needs to enjoy hopefully the next 30 years of his life. Hopefully he's around a lot longer than, most, because he's the man. He's a genius. He's created so many wonderful things for us, and he's been through a lot. But I just want George to just ride off into the sunset and enjoy the rest of his life. That's what I would like to see. Darth Konica says, hey, Jeremy, I am super excited for the Clone Wars save. What are your expectations, wish list for the series? P.S. My Switch came today. Thanks again for the tip on getting one. Time to get my Mario Kart on, and you spelled Mario Kart correctly. Yes, yes, yes. I think without going into too many details, I think we're going to get the Siege of Mandalore, which is something a lot of people have wanted and desperately to see. And so my wish list mainly is going to be vague in terms of it's 12 episodes is what's been reported. I hope that due to the response, I hope that they expand that over to at least 24 episodes. I would love to get 24 more episodes because the way the Clone Wars is kind of structured out is you get like these different arcs. So like 12 episodes would give us maybe 3 arcs. And I would love to get, more arcs and a couple of individual stories in there. I think that would be great. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm really excited. So Darth Caesar and Darth Conicus, can't wait for some Mario Kart, man. We're going to be live streaming some Mario Kart in the near future, so don't worry. Darth Caesar, Paramount TV president Amy Powell just fired over racist comments. Left-leaning Hollywood is always right? Man, another one bites the dust. Shoo. It's crazy. It's crazy. And yeah, there it is. Star Wars America wakes up, says Matthew Reynolds. I like it. Everybody is getting red-pilled. Everybody's getting red-pilled right now. And it's good. And red-pilled doesn't necessarily mean going Republican, or it just means you're seeing reality. You're seeing the reality here. When Meryl Streep literally gets on stage and she calls Harvey Weinstein God. She did this. Meryl Streep called Harvey Weinstein God. Yeah. Then we see what happened. Like all these people that were groveling at Harvey Weinstein's feet all of those years. You're telling me they didn't know about this guy? Get the hell out of here with that. Get the hell out of here with that. Just horrible stuff, man. Horrible. And again, I'm someone that try to separate these Hollywood people and their politics from the art that they provide. I do that, and I think I do a good job of that. I mean, like I've told you guys, I really like Green Day. It's one of my favorite bands. I love Green Day. I do not like their politics. I can't stand their politics, but I like their music, and I can separate the two. I can, but I can't take someone like James Gunn and let you talk about pedophiles and normalize pedophilia and rape, and while you're preaching about Trump. I just can't separate the two. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I don't have the mental capacity to separate that much. I just can't do it. And I try my best. So Mr. Force says Green Day went too far for me, and I completely understand that. Completely. Green Day is good. Pre-American Idiot. I loved American Idiot. 21st Century Breakdown was my last album that I really enjoyed from them. Jake Massey, speaking the truth. Love it. You're saving me while I'm at work. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. We live in a effed up world. And for anybody out there, again, I know I get up here and I speak my mind and I say it and I tell you like it is, tell you what I think, tell it like it is. There was a time I didn't feel comfortable doing that. There was a time where I was worried how that would reflect my brand, my Geeks and Gamers brand. I've sunk thousands and thousands of dollars into Geeks and Gamers over the past 5-6 years. I've tried to build a community and a team of different people, different backgrounds, different races, different religions, different political beliefs, different opinions. And I always worried that if I ever went with my full true emotions and spoke my mind, I felt that it would hurt the brand of Geeks and Gamers more than help it. I was wrong. And at the beginning of the year, when I decided I'm done with all the pandering bullshit, I'm done trying to make everybody happy. I'm done trying to play both sides and try to make everybody happy. I'm tired of acting like I'm ashamed that I'm, I don't want to say this, but on the channel anyway, but I'm tired of being ashamed that I'm a Trump supporter. If that bothers you that much, that I have an opinion and that you might disagree with, then I can't help you. But I started seeing SJWs weaponize people being Trump supporters. And I'm like, you're not going to do that to me. I'm just going to put it out there. And people can either accept it or they can't, because I accept your beliefs and I accept who you support. I totally do, as long as you're logical and rational and you have common sense. And much to my surprise, the more I spoke out, the more I was straightforward, the more I didn't have a filter, the more I just told it like it was, the more people responded. And I realized that trying to pander to anybody is the wrong message. You have to take a stance in 2018. You have to pick a side. You have to tell people exactly where you stand. You can't ride the fence. You can't play both sides. And you can't worry about what people are going to say, because people are going to get pissed off about anything and everything you say, no matter what you say, no matter where you say it, no matter how you say it, you are going to piss people off. So you might as well piss them off with the truth, and you might as well be authentic to yourself. That's exactly how it has to be. I'm a big fan of Boogie2988. I've been watching his channel for a long time. That poor guy. And again, he's had a rough life. He's had circumstances I'll never be able to imagine. I've always liked him. The guy has constantly tried to ride the fence and please everybody by not taking a stance. And the more he continues to ride that middle of the road, he's pissing people off on every side. And it's pushing him to the limit. And I feel bad for the guy, but you got to pick a side. You got to pick a side, and you've got to plant your flag, and you've got to tell people how you feel, and you got to stand by it, and you got to take the heat that comes with it. That is the world we live in. Everything is politicized, everything, and you have to stand your ground. So, all right, let me see here where we at. Nathan, Jon Schnepp of Collider has passed. Yeah, I spoke on that earlier, and it sucks. You know, I said it multiple times, you know, that I met Schnepp at Pensacon a few years ago. He was super nice to my daughter and myself. I still have the autographed copy of The Death of Superman Lives What Happened. I didn't open it. And I think we definitely need to show support for the Collider team, regardless if we agree or disagree with them. This is a little bit bigger than that at the moment, and we need to show some class. I know a lot of our community doesn't like Collider. I don't watch Collider anymore, but this is bigger than that, and I think we should all show respect for someone that, by all accounts, was a good guy. And so, yeah, it sucks, though. ST Rome, you mess with Trump, you get it in the rump. Also, when is the High Council tonight? The High Council is at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Comrade Commodore, SJWs sit on social media all day waiting to pounce. Normal people don't. We have jobs and more important things to do with what little free time we have. That's the difference. No more monies from me, LOL. Comrade Commodore, I always appreciate your support, and you're spot on with what you're saying. They live on Twitter. They live on Twitter, and they try to find all of this stuff on people just so they can be outraged. Anything anybody says and does and all that, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Spot on, super chat. Darth Conicus, I couldn't even tell some of my LGBT friends I voted for Trump because I knew they would stop talking to me, and I don't care anymore. Yeah, being a Trump supporter is the new gay. Like, it's the new gay now. Like, you have to make that, like, you have to come to that soul-searching reality. Am I going to tell my friends that I voted for Trump? Am I going to tell my family? I hope my coworkers don't find out. It's like being gay back in like 1970 or something like that. I think Gavin McGinnis on the Rebel, what was it? The Rebel Network? I can't remember exactly. The Rebel, though. He made this kind of connection where like being a Trump supporter is like the new gay. You know, like you have to be careful about who knows about it. And if you find another Trump supporter and you're at a party and you like hear this guy talking about like, you know, empowering, you know, the consumers and big, and, you know, being against all of these things and building the walls and all this. And then you see, and you're like, hey man, that guy might be a Trump supporter. And you kind of go off into the corner and you start having this conversation about MAGA and building walls and how Trump goes and tells everybody to fuck off and it's great. And you have this conversation and then you go back into the party and you kind of go your separate ways, you know, kind of looking down on the ground, you know, because you don't want anybody to know. You don't want anybody to know the dirty deed you just did by talking about Trump. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And so, again, I want to make this clear, 100% clear. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what you are, where you are politically. I don't care. It literally doesn't matter to me. There are people on the Geeks and Gamers team, a lot of people on the Geeks and Gamers team that disagree with everything I say 100% politically. And we all get along. We all have respect for each other, and we are all able to do our jobs. Because we respect one another, we respect different opinions, we respect different political ideology. You have to do that to live in this world. You have to have tolerance. And the far left has no tolerance. They have zero tolerance. And we're seeing that right now on social media. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, and what Comrade Commodore said is perfect. And I'm gonna read it again. SJWs sit on social media all day waiting to pounce. Normal people don't. We have jobs and more important things to do with what little free time we have. That's the difference. No more monies from me. Meaning that's his last super chat. Okay, so to update all of you really quick, 1,300 people watching. Thank you all for joining. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. We're close to 70,000 subs, everyone. Close to 70,000. What the hell's going on? I can't believe we're almost at 70,000. I never would have imagined this would happen. But I thank all of you for your support. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the emails, the messages, the tweets. Thank you for supporting the Geeks and Gamers team. Thank you for everything that you continue to do for me and for the team. You're amazing. So to update everyone really quick, this is from Variety. James Gunn fired from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And this is directly from Alan Horn, big dog at Walt Disney Company, at the Walt Disney Company, and he is the studio chairman, and he says the offensive attitude and statements discovered on James Gunn's Twitter feed are indefensible and inconsistent with our studio's values, and we have severed our business relationship with him, said Alan Horn, the studio's chairman. Now, again, is there another name coming to mind right now that might, if they start taking a look at his Twitter account, is there another name that not quite as bad as James Gunn? Not quite. But is there another name that comes to mind that maybe they should take a look at the Twitter feed of another director involved with the Walt Disney Company? Exactly. Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson. Exactly. And again, I'm not saying what Rian Johnson has done is as bad as James Gunn, because it's not. James Gunn, this is way over the line, man. Like, this is way over the line. But Rian Johnson, if you are going to hold people accountable for their behavior on Twitter, then you need to look at Rian Johnson. And Chuck Wendig. Why don't you take a look at Chuck Wendig? Seriously, Chuck Wendig is worse than Rian Johnson. Wendig is horrible. He's got to go. So, all right, let me catch up here. Gunn went full Anakin, never mess with the younglings, big chap. Nicholas Glenn, Jon Schnepp just passed away. Yes, Nicholas, I've mentioned that multiple times. I just actually talked about it about 5 minutes ago, and we're all saddened by this. Terrible news. So thank you for the update, though. Nicholas Glenn, Rian Johnson, and John Kasdan should both be gone as well. I think that if you're looking at the employees of Lucasfilm and the behavior on social media, if you're looking at the next worst, probably the next worst would be Chuck Wendig. Wendig is bad. Like, Wendig is really, really unhinged and bad. But then you have to look at Rian Johnson and the fact that Rian Johnson is the director of The Last Jedi. And that with great power comes great responsibility. And it's really, really interesting that we're going to see what happens. So, all right. Chris Neville says slippery slope. That's right. Who's going to make Guardians of the Galaxy 3? I would imagine this movie will be put on hold. This is going to be a tough replacement for them because I think James Gunn is the sole reason Guardians is so great. I mean, yes, you have an amazing cast. They have amazing chemistry. But it's his dialogue. It's his directing. Like James Gunn has definitely, again, I want to make this point clear. And I made this earlier, but for anybody that's just joining us now, James Gunn is, in my opinion, outside of the Russos, James Gunn is the top tier MCU director. And Guardians is the top tier franchise outside of the Avengers. So for Disney to fire James Gunn during Comic-Con, right after the Clone Wars announcement, and right before probably some other big announcements, to fire James Gunn while he's at Comic-Con, or at least he was scheduled to be at Comic-Con, this is big. And my question is there more that Disney knows that we don't know? Are law enforcement looking into this situation? James Gunn deleted his entire Twitter account. It's gone, all gone. So I think that there's a lot more meat on this bone, and we don't know it yet. So it's rough, man. It is rough. So it's bad. So for anybody that doesn't know what James Gunn did or said, he made some, now again, you're talking to me, somebody that don't get offended. He made tweets that made my stomach turn. Like that, it takes a lot to really get me uncomfortable. And so he made tweets that I'm not necessarily, I don't want to quote them, but he made multiple tweets, probably dozens of tweets, talking about touching little boys, about how that's his fantasy. He made multiple tweets about rape and enjoying rape. He made multiple tweets about, is his Twitter still there? Because it was deleted. Somebody confirm that for me really quick. So, but yeah, he made multiple tweets about wanting to rape Justin Bieber. And at the time of the date of those tweets, Justin Bieber was underage. His Twitter is still there. Some people are, I checked earlier, it was deleted. So he must have opened it back up. Still there, just checked. Okay, so it is, so he must have put it back up. Let me see here. Oh, it is back up. It's back up, and he's lost like 20, almost 30,000 followers. So he put it back up because I retweeted it, that he deleted it, and I checked it before I retweeted it. So yeah, so he put his Twitter back up. Interesting. Okay. I bet he took it down, cleaned it all up, and put it back up. I bet that's what he did. All right, let's see here. Sith Lord Luke Skywalker, what's up, Jeremy? Haven't gotten any notifications on your James Gunn today. That's not surprising, but thank you for letting me know. All right, let me see where we're at. David Savage, I've been banned from Twitter since last year, but I bet these directors are mass deleting tweets right now, so people should start shotting. Absolutely. Trencher 1375, they probably hire him back when the heat dies. I don't know. I don't see that happening. I think James Gunn is done. He just blocked me. No, I checked from multiple accounts, but it said this user is no longer there. See, and it wasn't just me. It was multiple people. So, let me see. See, this is from someone screenshotted that, and it's user not found. Now, that was earlier. Now, I went, as soon as I saw this, I'm like, is he really gone? So I checked, and it said user not found. When somebody blocks you, it tells you you're blocked. Because trust me, enough of these shills block me all the time. So, but either way, he probably deleted his Twitter account, took the time to clean it all up. And I don't know what happens when you delete a Twitter account. I don't know how that process works. But took the time to clean it and then, then brought it back up. So Jeremy, who's James Gunn? James Gunn is the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, and he was scheduled to be the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and now he is no longer employed at the Walt Disney Company. Vash, the ashtray, James Gunn needs to comb his damn hair. I don't think James Gunn, I think he's done. He's definitely done at Disney, no doubt about it. And I don't think you're going to see James Gunn for the minimum of 3 to 5 years directing anything, but that all comes down to if the FBI is going to investigate this man or not. Again, I say it like this. For Disney to respond this quickly during Comic-Con with this type of director, this high profile of a director, for Disney to do that, that tells me that there's something else that's going on. That tells me that they probably know that there is something else brewing. That's just speculation on my part. I don't know that. I have no sources. I have no inside knowledge. That's just what I think. I see a lot of you joining. We got 1,500 people watching. Thank you for joining. Hit that like button. If you are just joining us, James Gunn, director of Guardians of the Galaxy, has been fired late yesterday, at least for me. I don't know exactly what time this happened, but James Gunn did a bunch of anti-Trump stuff on Twitter, which he does all the time. And then he pissed off a lot of people, so they started digging through a lot of his old tweets from years ago. And they found a lot of disturbing things, to say the least. Things that are disturbing even to me. And so they decided to screenshot all of this stuff, and there was stuff about pedophilia. There was stuff about him specifically saying that he wants to touch little boys. There were tweets of him saying that he wants to rape. He likes raping. Which Disney character do we think would rape him? Which one would be bad to be raped by? And then there were other things about wanting to have sex with Justin Bieber when Justin Bieber was underage. There was a lot of nasty stuff, like really bad stuff. There was one comment. It was either 3PO or it was R2. I can't remember, but he was talking to somebody and he told them, hey, you should tell your son, who was 3 at the time, according to the tweet, tell your 3-year-old that I want to rape R2-D2. He'll understand when he gets older. That's what James Gunn said. Yeah. Was it 3PO? Okay. That's what he said. Like, that is effed up stuff, man. Like, that's some deranged crap right there. All right, so it was 3PO. Okay. It's deranged. So, James Gunn wanted to screw Justin Bieber. Yeah, he made multiple comments about Bieber when Bieber was underage. He talked about all this stuff, man. Stuff that I just don't even, it's just, I made a video on it. You're welcome to go check it out. It was some bad stuff, though. Very, very bad stuff. So lefties always project. They do, like James Gunn, always projecting. It's so bad. So someone on the chat is defending James Gunn. Who's defending James Gunn? What is wrong with you? Are you really? Is somebody really defending James Gunn right now in the chat? Show, like, who are you? And it's probably some bot account. Alex D, do we know they weren't faked? He already admitted it. He addressed it. He tried to justify all of the tweets. So he's already justified it. And he's already acknowledged it. So I'm looking. I don't see, though. The Devil's Due is so lost. What are you lost about, man? I can try to clear it up for you. Patton Oswalt is defending him? Really? Oh, God. That's not a surprise for Patton Oswalt to defend him. Yet he hates on Trump every day. Christian Garcia says, Jeremy, go to his Facebook page. Some of his fans are defending him. You know, if you're defending James Gunn, then I cannot really comprehend what's going on in your head. I cannot do it. I don't understand it. That is some wicked stuff right there. If you're actually defending this. Chris Barrett says, Jeremy, please clue me in. Okay, so yesterday, James Gunn went on some anti-Trump tirade on Twitter, on his soapbox like he always does. This is nothing new. And then he went after Ben Shapiro. And then so people started going and digging through his Twitter history from years and years ago. And it was exposed that he was making all types of jokes about molesting little boys and touching little boys and all this bad stuff about, enjoying rape and going and raping people and all this stuff. And so, yeah, it was bad. And so then again, he tried to justify it and say it was just jokes, but then he deleted 10,000 tweets from his Twitter account, 10,000 tweets, but they were just jokes. Now, again, this is the same guy who preaches moral superiority when it comes to Trump. All day long, he's offended by Trump. He's upset. I'm so upset about Donald Trump. He's so mean. He's so mean. He's got to be impeached. But your pedophile jokes are okay. That's the big problem here. Not to say that it wouldn't be a problem in isolation, but when you project yourself like this on social media, and then it's highlighted that you are absolutely horrible and you have such a terrible mind yourself, which we all know you do because all humans do, that's the problem right there. That's the problem. So, I mean, Roseanne was fired for like whatever she said. And if you're gonna hold people accountable, you got to hold everybody accountable, not just one side or the other. Let me see here. Where we at? R. Kelly, Reddit's Marvel is defending Gunn and pedophilia. Really? Wow. Critterus says James Gunn deleting tweets came straight out of Clinton's playbook. Woof. So anyway, it's been an interesting day to say the least. I've got to get ready for the High Council tonight. We are 8 p.m. High Council. We can get away from all of this craziness. We're going to have some fun. We're going to rewatch The Force Awakens tonight at 8 p.m. here on the Geeks and Gamers channel. I will have Ethan Van Sciver, world-class bullshitters. Anna, that Star Wars girl, will be here. And so Vincent Vendetta says no jokes should be off limits. I mean, I guess, but if you're defending, so I'm guessing, Vincent, you're arguing for free speech. Am I getting that correct, Vincent Vendetta? You're arguing for free speech, right? Let me get clarification on that. Okay. So then if people have a problem with James Gunn's jokes, then isn't that part of free speech? So you're trying to tell people they can't have their own opinion, right? Is that what you're saying? So either people can have free speech or they can't. So which is it? Okay, and that's fine. But do you not think that normalizing pedophilia is beyond a joke and it should be taken seriously? And doesn't that give the FBI and law enforcement probable cause to investigate this person? And if Disney as a brand doesn't want to be associated with someone who is highlighting and normalizing pedophilia, shouldn't the company have the right to do that? Okay, well, Vincent, then we're good, man. I mean, if we disagree on the severity of the tweets, then that's cool. And yeah, so we're cool, man. I totally appreciate your side of things. I'm not familiar with your channel, but I'll definitely check it out. You have a check mark, so you must be over 100,000 subs, and so that's why it stood out to me, your comment. So yeah, man. So that's totally fine. I mean, at the end of the day, if we disagree on the severity of the things that he said and the meaning behind it, that's totally cool. But it seems like we're on the same page for the most part, and so I can respect that. Boom, 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 boom. All right, I got to check these super chats real quick. All right. Star Wars antics. Ryan Johnson now only has 2,349 tweets since 2009. So I don't know if he's deleted. That would be interesting to see. But Xavier says, someone say this in a tweet. This is partially a company giving in to the right-wing blogger and his vocal reaction audience who made a lot of noise last night. Wow. Wow. Dies Nefesta says, free speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. Was the calling card of SJWs. Take a step back, my dude. I agree. I didn't find any of his jokes funny at all. I don't find them to be jokes as much as I find them to be dangerous. I find them to be very dangerous. As someone that says a lot of offensive things, as someone that says offensive things that I can't even repeat here on the internet, you know, I didn't find what he said to be jokes. I found them to be very dangerous. And if I knew this man, I would definitely never let my kids alone around him. That's what I found his comments to be, are dangerous, in my opinion. Has the stream crashed? Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. But anyway, I thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you back tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. So Vincent Vendetta, it's good talking to you. It was good talking with everybody in the chat. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for liking. Thank you all for supporting. Thank you all for everything you do. Even if some of you disagree with me, that's cool. I enjoy the conversation. Yes, he has been fired, Lewis. He has been fired. He's gone. So let me know where you are watching from. Let me know right now. Light it up. Light it up. Lando Calrissian says, may the force be with you. Right back at you, Lando. Canada, Tennessee, Ireland, Vegas, India, Florida, Hungary, Jeremy's Closet, Trinidad, Missouri, Finland, Brazil, Mexico, Sweden, Houston, Florida, Maryland, my house, Texas, London, California. So many. All right, guys, have a great night. I'll see you in a few hours.